We need a holistic approach to development that takes account of the full potential of our society and of our people as individuals. We need an approach to development that begins with the nurturing and empowerment of the human spirit. Both personally and as a society, this means we look for the restoration of confidence in ourselves, who we are, what we are capable of, and the future before us. I return to the question of the middle income trap that I alluded to some time ago. I'm glad that the notion has since been taken up by the government. The middle income trap is a condition determined by the quality of our people and of the institutions that bind them. It is not something overcome simply by growing more oil palm or extracting more oil and gas. Our economic challenge is to improve the quality of our people and institutions. Making the break from the middle income trap is in the first place a social, cultural, educational and institutional challenge. Let me just list what needs to be done. Before we can pursue meaningful economic strategy, we need to get our house in order. We need to, 1, undertake bold reforms to restore the independence of the police, the Anti-Corruption Commission, and the judiciary. Confidence in the rule of law is a basic condition of economic growth. 2, reform the civil service. 3, wage all-out war on corruption. 4, thoroughly revamp our education system. 5, repeal the Printing Presses Act, the Universities and Colleges Act, the ISA and the OSA. These repressive laws only serve to create a climate of timidity and fear, which is the opposite of the flourishing of talent and ideas that we say we want. 6, replace a new economic policy with an equity and unity policy, a kind of a New Deal, to bring everyone, regardless of race, gender, or what state they live in and who they voted for, into the economic mainstream. 7, reduce the country's indebtedness, which at present I'm told is about 68% of the GNP, one of the highest in the world. These reforms are the necessary foundation for any particular economic strategies. Many of these reforms will take time. Educational reform is the work of many years, but that is no excuse not to start. Confidence will return immediately if that start is bold. As for particular economic strategies, there are many we can pursue. We need to tap our advantage in having a high savings rate. Thanks to a lot of forced savings, our savings rate is about 38%. We need more productive uses for the massive funds held in EPF, Lembaga Tabung Haji, Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera and PNB, than investment in an already overcapitalized stock market. One suggestion is to make strategic investments internationally in broad growth sectors such as minerals. Another is that we should use these funds to enable every Malaysian to own their own house. This would stimulate the construction sector with its large multiplier of activities and bring about a stakeholder society. A fine example of how this is done is Singapore's use of savings in CPF. James Puthucheary was one-time chairman of CPF Singapore to fund property purchases. The government could make sure that the land office and local government, developers and house buyers are coordinated through a one-stop agency under the Ministry of Local Government and Housing. This would get everyone active, right down to the level of local authorities. The keys to unleashing this activity are financing and a radical streamlining of government approvals, local government approvals. We have been living off a drip of oil and cheap foreign labor. Dependence on these easy sources of revenue has dulled our competitiveness and prevented the growth of high-income jobs. We need a moratorium on the hiring of low-skilled foreign labor that is paired with a very aggressive effort to increase the productivity and wages of Malaysian labor. Higher wages would mean we could retain more of our skilled labor and our other talents. 5 years ago, I called for a project to make Malaysia an oil and gas services and trading hub for East Asia. Oil and gas activities will bring jobs to some of our poorer states. We should not discriminate against those states on the basis of their political affiliations. No one is better placed by natural advantage to develop this hub. Meanwhile, Singapore, with not a drop of oil, has moved ahead on this front. We should ready ourselves to tap the wealth of the emerging middle class of China, India, and Indonesia in providing services such as tourism, medical care, and education. That readiness can come in the form of streamlined procedures, language preparation, and targeted infrastructure development. These are just some ideas for some of the many things we could do to ensure our prosperity. Others may have better ideas.